Welcome into Saguaro High School and happy Earth Day here on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. I'm Brady Hanson alongside Tyler Wargo as we're here for Senior Day at Saguaro High School as the SaberCats take on the St. Mary's Knights. And it should be a good one here today, Tyler.
Yeah, it really. Wait. Yeah, it really should be. I mean, considering the fact that both teams are kind of neck and neck in the conference, we're getting closer and closer to playoffs. I'm very excited to see a lot of hits in this game. Of course, both sides of the field have some great hitting and some great defense. On the mound for St. Mary's will be Billy Lewis, and on the mound for Saguaro will be Bassary. Now, Bassary, of course, he's pitching again. This will be his fifth start of this season. Now, Saguaro is going into this game with a 13-10 record, and National St. Mary's are going into this game with a 13-9 record. So again, we talked about how they're neck and neck. It's going to be a really good game. I'm looking forward to seeing Luis Mejia as well for the St. Mary Knights.
Yeah, and if you take a look at the field here today, you'll notice 6 numbers painted on the back behind the grass by the backstop. We got numbers 1, 4, 6, or 1, 4, 5, 6, 12, and 21 to celebrate the 6 seniors in their final home game here at Saguaro.
Yeah, and one senior to take a look at is going to be Louis Bassary. Of course, he's a senior today, being represented today for the Saguaro SaberCats. He's going into this game with a .329 average, 23 hits, 13 runs with 1 triple this season. So that's a senior to keep an eye out on. He will be playing today's game, playing second base today. Of course, we got 2 Bassaries playing in today's game for the SaberCats. About to get underway with the first pitch here in Scottsdale.
First pitch will miss high to Mikey Nunez for ball 1, and we are underway here at Saguaro High School. AJ Bassary, here's in the Southpaw senior getting the start here today. Ball 2 misses in, so a quick 2-0 count, falls behind to the leadoff hitter. So Bassary, as you mentioned, Tyler, one of the 2 brothers on this team is brother Lewis playing over there at second. The 2-0 count. In there for strike 1. Bassary gets his first strike of the day. Bassary, one of the rare starter archetypes that'll pitch from the stretch rather than the windup. Kicks and fires. Fouled back, 2-2. Now the count to the Knights leadoff hitter.
Yeah, trying to get him early here in this 0-2 count now. He's falling behind if you're the batter. But if you're Bassary, of course, he's going to want to go for an off-speed pitch potentially here with an 0-2 count. Don't be afraid to pitch a little bit outside the zone, get him to swing. Let's see what he does here in this 0-2 count.
2-2 offering. Off-speed pitch misses up. Now a full count. So Nunez doing a good job at working the count as the leadoff hitter. It's exactly what you want out of your one spot. Here's the payoff pitch. In there, strike 3, catches him looking for the first out of this game.
Well, that's a great pitch you want to go for. Went for a fastball right there. Didn't want to be too fancy with it. 1-2-3 punch out. That's a great way to start your game, especially if you're a senior on the mound today.
So Bassary strikes out the first batter he sees, a backwards K to start the game, and now standing in will be the shortstop Luis Mejia for the Knights.
Yeah, we mentioned Luis Mejia. He's a junior going into this game. He has quite a rap sheet. We'll get to that later on, but let's see what he does here.
First pitch in there for strike 1. Lefty-lefty matchup will favor Bassary in this one.
Going into this game with a .62 earned run average.
That one's hit high towards right center field. Camped under it is Keck, and he will make the play for out number 2.
Yeah, there's some good depth out there, right, for the SaberCats. Some good depth out there using your center fielder effectively here. Quickly, 2 outs in this inning. Let's see where Bassary goes with this final batter here, potentially in this top half of the inning. Of course, he worked a lot of fastballs. He might do something different here as he's going to face a lefty.
So Javier Romero stands in, the center fielder today for the Knights. First pitch to him will hit him, and that'll be the first base runner for the Knights. So Romero will reach on hit by pitch, and Bassary will handle his first base runner here today.
We talked about how Bassary wanted to change up things a little bit, wanted to maybe dot a little bit out on the outer part of the plate or the inner part of the plate. He tried to do that right there. Unfortunately, he did hit that batter. So let's see where he now uses his fastball in this next count.
So now standing in will be Evan Rios, the catcher here for the Knights. Rios in the cleanup spot, looking to drive in the runner from first. First pitch to him. Misses outside, ball one. Passeri comes set. Expect the runner. Kicks, deals. Misses again. Back pick by Gomez. Not in time. 2-0 now the count to the Knights backstop.
Elaine Gomez did a great job at reading where the runner was going. Of course, there's not much of a lead over there at first base, so not too much to worry. But of course, 2 outs in this inning, you want to try getting a runner out.
2-0 offer and in there for strike number one. Cut the lower half of the plate there. 2-1 pitch. Hit that spot yet again, 2-2.
Yeah, very comfortable with the fastball right here. Of course, he's going for a four-seamer on that pitch, cutting edge action. Now he's ahead in the count by 2 pitches.
2-2. Ball misses. Throw down with the runner going. Not in time. And another full count on the stolen base here from Romero.
That was a great steal. He went from a good lead to then, taking second base, and now here he is in scoring position. The Knights right now are threatening, but there are 2 outs in this inning. Let's see where Varsity goes with a runner on second base. Again, not have to worry about the runner at second, but
Payoff pitch. Grounded towards short. Fielded there by Bratspis. Throw across the diamond in time. And no damage done after the hit batter. 0-0. We'll head into the bottom of the first after this. Welcome back into Saguaro High School. Brady Hansen alongside Tyler Wargo here. Bottom of the first. And a southpaw on the mound as well for the Knights. It'll be the sophomore Billy Lewis. And leading off for the SaberCats will be the second baseman, Louis Passeri. A little lefty-lefty action here to start the bottom of the first. First offering from Lewis will miss outside. So 1-0 the count to the SaberCats second baseman. Lewis, unlike his opponent counterpart, is working out of the windup. Pitch there is grounded towards short. fielded and thrown across the diamond for out number 1. Now standing in will be the shortstop for the SaberCats team in Xander Bratspis. Still take his first at bat today.
Braspis is playing shortstop today, so he will be batting on the right side to kick off this second part of the lineup.
First pitch to Bratspis in there for strike number 1. Good hard fastball on the outside corner there from Lewis. From the windup, the 0-1 offering. Misses up, 1-1 the count. Bratspis so far this season has been pretty reliable for the SaberCats here in the 2-hole. Looks to continue that streak. Off speed pitch misses high, 2-1. This Knights team is pretty young. A lot of sophomores and juniors on this team. With a winning record, you like to see that moving forward. That pitch is grounded towards short. Mejia fields it. Throw across the diamond in time. And the second 6-3 put out of the game, 2 away.
Luis Mejia doing a great job covering up the depth out there playing shortstop. Of course, him and Jacob De La Rosa, and the chemistry is what really matters for this Knights team, and we definitely saw that right there by those last 2 plays.
So now standing in will be the switch hitting catcher, Alain Gomez. You always got to be careful with him up at the plate. A lot of power out of this kid.
Yeah, Alain Gomez, he's not only a catcher but also a third baseman today. He's, of course, playing catcher today. 2 home runs and 20 hits. Let's see if he can add to that.
First pitch to the South Carolina commit is in there for strike number 1.
A little bit of an off-speed pitch that we saw right there. Wanting to see where he can go with that one, but he's finding himself ahead in the count by 1 pitch. 0-1 the count.
The 0-1 offering. And there's strike 2. So the SaberCats backstop finds himself behind quickly in an 0-2 count.
Yeah, prior to coming into this game, we knew it was going to be a pitcher's duel, and now here we're seeing it in full action.
High pitch chopped down the first baseline, but foul. So we'll do it again as Gomez fights and stays alive.
And I mentioned how Alain Gomez, he has 20 hits, but adding on to those 20 hits is 17 RBIs. I mean, that already says a lot, especially when you've only had 20 hits and most of those hits have drove in runs. That's what's going to be crucial in the SaberCat lineup.
The 0-2 once more fouled off again towards the right field line, towards the softball batting cages over there. Gomez stays alive once more.
All these hits have some great pop on it, so you got to watch out if you're playing the outfield position. But, of course, we do mention the Knights and the SaberCats both have a lot of depth out there backing up Billy Lewis.
The 0-2 offering. That one's roped and on a line cut by Mejia there at short. The SaberCats go down 1-2-3 in the first. We'll be back with the top of the second. Welcome back, top two here at Saguaro High School. 0-0 across the board. Only one base runner so far in one full inning. Brady Hanson alongside Tyler Wargo. We thank you to tuning in to the Varsity Sports Show broadcast of Senior Day here at Saguaro High School. Standing in for the Knights will be their right fielder, Sean Berry, to lead off this second inning.
Sean Berry playing right field today, batting on the right side.
Varsity comes set. He'll kick and deal. First pitch misses up, ball one. Kicks, fires, that one in the dirt, ball two. So Varsity has found himself starting behind in the count often here in this one.
Yeah, he was laser focused in the first inning with that 1-2-3 punch out. Now he's just trying to locate the outer parts of the zone.
Check swing, grounded towards first, fielding it on the bag. There will be Miller for the first out.
That was a very easy play right there to turn. But, I mean, not a lot. I mean, that wasn't even a full swing. That was kind of a half swing as it just rolled along the first base line. So here comes another righty-righty matchup still that we're seeing.
So now standing in will be Jacob De La Rosa, the first baseman today for the Knights. First pitch misses for ball one. Varsity kicks, deals. Misses outside, 2-0. So once again, Varsity finds himself falling behind in a 2-0 count. He's done a good job getting outs from this position. Let's see if it continues here. 2-0 offering. And the dirt, 3-0 now to the Knights' first baseman. Varsity comes set. Kicks, fires. In the dirt, ball four, and a 4-pitch walk to the first baseman for the Knights.
I mean, if you're the SaberCats, you got to turn two. I mean, there's one out here. You would like to get out of the jam, especially you got to save that arm if you want to go some-odd innings. Here he is going to the second inning. He wants to push forward, but if he wants to do that, you got to use your defense that's behind you.
So now standing in will be the hot corner for the Knights and Zach Tanner. Stand in with a runner on first. First pitch in there for strike one. So yeah, Varsity doing a good job at getting ahead in the count to this new batter. Comes set. Kicks, deals. Breaking ball looked like it slipped out of his hands there. 1-1 the count. Peers in, gets a sign, comes set. Kicks, delivers. Swung on and missed at a ball in the dirt. 1-2 now the count to Tanner. The 1-2 pitch. Misses up and away, 2-2. Varsity shakes one off, gets the pitch he likes. Comes set, kicks, deals, in the dirt. Now a full count. 3-2-1 on the scoreboard here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away here in the top of the second. Zeros on the scoreboard. Knights with an opportunity to get another runner on here. 3-2 offering. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Down goes Tanner. And Varsity 1 out away from escaping another runner on first.
He used that same pitch in the first inning. The 4-seam fastball always works for him. He had to just power it through and just use that upper 75 mile an hour pitch right there, and he did that and put away that batter. That's his second strikeout of the day. Let's see if he can add to that.
First pitch in there, strike 1 to the Knights left fielder, Alfonso Ochoa. The 0-1 offering. Misses a little low, 1-1. Kicks, deals, off speed in the dirt. 2-1 the count, excuse me. Comes set. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and miss. 2-2 now the count. Choa looked to be a little behind the fastball there. 2-2. That one's put in play towards second. Sari will flip it over to Bratspis at short, and that'll do it for the top of the second inning. It's a good job by Basari to get out of the inning after allowing a runner on. We'll be back with the bottom of the second.
I'm Liz Landon, a sophomore at the University of Florida with Varsity Sports Show. Gainesville is on fire. After 18 long years, the Florida Gators have clinched the NCAA National Championship, and the city is absolutely buzzing. The last time we felt this euphoria was back in 2006 and 2007 when the Gators went back-to-back. Now the chant is back, Gator boys stay hot, and things are definitely exciting. Under Coach Todd Golden, the Gators have a season to remember. With a 36-4 record, they took down giants like number 1 Auburn and Tennessee. Walter Clayton Jr., who once had offers to play college football, chose basketball and became our hero. His clutch plays, especially in the Final Four, earned him the Most Outstanding Player award. The passion in Gainesville was palpable. Fans camped outside the O'Connell Center during the regular season and later outside local eateries, eager to secure spots to witness history unfold on the screens. When the final buzzer sounded, tears flowed and University Avenue transformed into a sea of orange and blue. The Gator boys weren't just champions, they were legends. The celebration wasn't confined to Gainesville. From Boston to Miami, Gator alumni and bands gathered, united by pride and nostalgia. Even the Empire
Welcome back in to Saguaro High School. Brady Hansen alongside Tyler Wargo here at the bottom of the second inning. Standing in will be the first baseman Kyle Miller for the SaberCats. As SaberCats still looking for their first hit after going down 1-2-3 in the first. Another lefty-lefty matchup for the SaberCats. Breaking ball misses just inside ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Fouled back and in the mitt. Strike 1. Lewis from the windup. 1-1 offering. Breaking ball misses up and in. 2-1 the count. Two-one pitch. Catch the outside corner of the fastball. 2-2 now. Miller chokes up on the bat. Going to put one in play here. 2-2. Fouled back. Good job at protecting. Count will remain even at 2. From the windup, Lewis deals. Breaking pitch. Fouled back. Good job here again by Miller to stay alive.
Lewis might have to work a fastball here because he's been using the off-speed pitches, and honestly, Miller's just been getting under it. I think he's swinging a little bit too late, which is why it's popping. But let's see what he does here in this 2-2 count.
Misses high. Count runs full.
That was a great eye right there. Of course, you can't really do anything about it when there's an off speed or when a fastball up high, well above the zone. You can't do much about it. But full count, Miller has been protecting. He might have to do it again here.
Payoff pitch. Fouled off. Great at bat Kyle Miller's putting together here.
And that was a good pitch, too. Of course, that pitch was right down the middle, too. He had nothing to do but to chase that one a little bit too early with that swing. But if he could just stay a little bit on target with that swing, he might be able to connect with and get on base here.
Payoff pitch once more. Again fouled back. Miller putting together a really nice at bat here.
Especially in this lefty-lefty matchup here. Of course, it's a lefty-lefty matchup, so it is going to be competitive.
10th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Kicks and fires. This one will be put in play. Down the right field line. It'll drop fair. Miller will round first, go for 2. And he's in there with a stand-up double.
That was a great pitch. We talked about how it's a lefty-lefty matchup. With all those fouled off pitches and all that patience that he was doing to get himself into a full count, it all paid off with him being able to connect it and put it into play. I mean, that was almost foul, but it was just on the left-hand part of the first base line in fair. And now he is on with his first hit of the day and make that a double.
So putting together a really good at bat and able to get the mistake pitch that he was looking for as Miller leads off the inning with a double. The first pitch to Cason Williams will miss for ball 1. It's the first hit we've seen today, third base runner, as A.J. Basseri has issued a walk and a hit by pitch. Williams will pop that one into center. Camped under it is Romero. He'll field it, and Miller will stay put at second, 1 away in the inning.
And after giving up that double, you kind of wonder if you're Billy Lewis. Is he going to change something up? Is he going to work a little bit more off-speed pitches, or is he going to relocate the four-seamer a little bit more effectively? Of course, his fastball has been what's been putting him ahead in the count, but now that he gave up 1 hit, he might be working something different here. Let's see what he does as we are in the bottom of the second inning with a runner on first with 1 out, or runner on second with 1 out.
Now standing in will be Henry Jacoby, the DH. First pitch he sees, he ropes well foul, but a lot of power behind that one on the hanging breaking ball there. So a long strike will make it a 1-0 count, or an 0-1 count, excuse me. 0-1, 1 away in the inning. Runner on second here for the SaberCats. First real good scoring opportunity in this game, and ball misses there, 1-1. Jacoby does have the advantage hitting from the right side here. 1-1-1 on the board. Pitch in play up the middle. It gets through. Miller around third. He'll come around to score. And it's an RBI single for Henry Jacoby.
That was a great pitch. I mean, that was a simple rule ground ball right to the second baseman, Mickey Nanez, but Mickey Nanez could not seem to keep that ball in his glove as that kind of skipped over his wrist and into the outfield, and that costed them a run. It's now 1-0 Saguaro as they still have a runner on first with only 1 out. So we could potentially be seeing more hits add up. But let's see if Billy Lewis, again, we talked about, let's see if he changes something around because, of course, he hasn't working the four-seam fastball effectively, but he might have to work a changeup here.
First pitch to Vinny Keck will miss for ball 1. Keck will stand in. Following the RBI single from Jacoby, look to keep this rally going off the young southpaw. Lewis deals. That one's fouled back towards us. 1-1 the count. SaberCats get the first hit of the game, get the second hit of the game, and what brings the first run and RBI of the game. All within the first 3 batters of the second inning. Pickoff move there. No go. So the runner's safe. 1-1 count to the SaberCats center fielder. Kicks, deals, misses in. 2-1 the count. Kicks, deals, runner goes. Pitches well high. Throw down won't be in time, and an easy stolen bag there for Jacoby.
Yeah, with a great lead comes a great steal. That's exactly what Jacoby did right there. We know him for being very quick around the base paths. Being a designated hitter as well, not playing any positions out there, you're going to be a guy who's going to want to get on base. And there he did so effectively there.
3-1 pitch, fouled back. This count will run full.
So they can't turn two now with one out. SaberCats are threatening now with a runner on second base. Seems like Billy Lewis is a little bit pressured by the runner on second base. He's a little worried, you know. Don't want a stolen base.
Payoff pitch, misses high, and he loses Keck there. So runners on first and second now as Brick Schultz will step to the plate. What a good walk-up, I might add. Brick house by the Commodores for Brick Schultz. That's a fun one. I like that. Schultz with his first at-bat of the game. First pitch to him, taken up and in, ball one.
At first, you couldn't turn two. Now you potentially can. So let's see if Billy Lewis can rely on his defense behind him, or if he can, he could potentially get out of this with a punch out. But he's already behind in this count. 1 ball, no strike with 1 out with 2 on.
And again, misses in. 2-0 now the count.
Now there's going to be a meeting between Evan Rios and Billy Lewis. Maybe it's some communication. Maybe they're on the wrong path. Let's see if they can reposition and readjust.
I think this is a good job here by Rios to go out to his pitcher. He's kind of been losing batters. Go out, talk to him, get him to settle down a bit, and just starts throwing some strikes again.
Or even just telling him not to focus too much on the runners on the base. I mean, use the people behind you. And I think that the defense that we've been seeing from St. Mary's has been very efficient into this game. He just has to rely on it and not worry too much on where he's locating the pitches, because that's what's making him throw all these balls in this 2-0 count.
So the talk must have worked as he gets one over there. 2-1 now, the count to the Saguaro SaberCats left fielder.
Again, baseball's a team sport, so you're going to have to keep this communication effectively here. This one's going to be fouled back towards us and into the softball field behind us. We're going to try it again. Even count, 2-2 with 2 on with 1 out in the bottom half of the second inning. Again, SaberCats scored in this bottom half of the inning. It's 1-0.
2-2 count. The offering. It's fouled back. Good job there by Schultz to stay alive. So some new balls getting put into play here. Two runners on. SaberCats only one away in the inning. Already got one up on the scoreboard following the RBI single from Henry Jacoby. 2-2 offering. Again, fouled back. SaberCats doing a good job putting together some quality at-bats here.
Yeah, I mean, this is another batter who is just keeping this at-bat competitive. I mean, already 7 pitches in the at-bat. We've already seen this before, and we know where this goes.
That one's put into play up, and pitcher Lewis will retrack and get that. Not a play you like to see your pitcher make as he's backtracking off the mound, but regardless, second out of the inning here.
I thought we were going to see a pattern. I mean, usually when we see a long pitch or a long at-bat, that usually results in a double or a triple like what we saw earlier today. But no, that was a pop-up, and that was some good work by Lewis to just make sure that he got it, because we did see Mejia and Nanez kind of run after that ball. But he's like, I got it, and he was able to put him away with 2 outs with 2 on. Let's see if he can get out of this jam.
So now standing in will be Jake Babcock, and he'll take the first pitch in there for strike number 1.
Babcock is playing right field today for the SaberCats, along with Schultz and Keck out there for the outfield for the SaberCats.
The 0-1 offering. Misses low. 1-1. So the 1-1 count to the SaberCats right fielder. 2 runners on, 2 away in the inning. Fouled back right at us. 1-2 now. The count is Lewis is one strike away from escaping the jam and limiting the damage.
If he can get out of this, that would be huge. I mean, that would not only help out Lewis in potentially getting back on the mound in the next inning, but it would also help the Knights in their momentum going into the next inning.
Ball in the dirt. This is 2-2 now with 2 away.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 the score. St. Mary's wearing all green uniforms with St. Mary's in cursive written across their chest. So it's that green and white going up against that black and yellow Saguaro Sabercats uniform.
Swung on and missed. Strike 3. So it's tipped back into the mitt. And a good job by Billy Lewis to get out of the jam, limit the damage to 1. But the Sabercats do take the lead, 1-0. We'll head to the top of the third.
I'm Liz Landon, a sophomore at the University of Florida with Varsity Sports Show. Gainesville is on fire. After 18 long years, the Florida Gators have clinched the NCAA National Championship, and the city is absolutely buzzing. The last time we felt this euphoria was back in 2006 and 2007 when the Gators went back-to-back. Now the chant is back, Gator boys stay hot, and things are definitely exciting. Under Coach Todd Golden, the Gators have a season to remember. With a 36-4 record, they took down giants like number 1 Auburn and Tennessee. Walter Clayton Jr., who once had offers to play college football, chose basketball and became our hero. His clutch plays, especially in the Final Four, earned him the Most Outstanding Player award. The passion in Gainesville was palpable. Fans camped outside the O'Connell Center during the regular season and later outside local eateries, eager to secure spots to witness history unfold on the screens. When the final buzzer sounded, tears flowed and University Avenue transformed into a sea of orange and blue. The Gator boys weren't just champions, they were legends. The celebration wasn't confined to Gainesville. From Boston to Miami, Gator alumni and bands gathered, united by pride and nostalgia. Even the Empire State Building paid homage, illuminating New York skyline in Gator colors, a testament to the team's nationwide impact. On campus, the players became instant celebrities. Their appearances at local spots like Cantina drew crowds, turning ordinary outings into fan-frenzied events. The Gator boys have become the heart and soul of Gainesville. As the season concludes, the team faces transitions. Key players Will Richard, Walter Clayton Jr., Elijah Martin, and Alex Condon are expected to depart, leaving behind a legacy of excellence. Yet hope remains. Thomas Houck is expected to return, along with Sam Alexis and some of the other players who didn't get as much playing time this season. From Gainesville streets to global landmarks, the Gator boys have reignited a flame of pride and unity. Their journey reminds us all, once the Gator boys get hot, they stay hot.
New pitcher on the mound for the Sabercats. It'll be Carter Bond, now taking over, the young sophomore. And he did a good job in his last outing that we saw out here at Saguaro High School. As he was able to earn the 3-inning win in a game against Arcadia. He'll come in, he'll face Lewis, the pitcher, and then the top of the order. Start the top of the third. Lewis shows bunt, offers that, it misses, strike 1. Lewis looking to get that run back that he gave up in the bottom of the second. Swings and misses at that pitch there and quickly falls behind 0-2. Bond comes set, the 0-2. That one's grounded towards second. It'll be fielded by the first baseman Miller. Race to the bag in time. And a good job with the PFPs there by Bond for out number 1.
Again, the defense from the first inning to the third inning, they got everything working out for them here. Again, it's a defensive day. So we're going to see a close-knit game, 1-0 the score.
So now standing in will be the top of the order in Mikey Nunez. Breaking ball, swing and miss, strike 1.
Not too sure if he wanted to go all the way around that. It was kind of like a half swing. That clearly from our view, he went around, but not too confident with his swings right now. Let's see if he can put something into action.
In the dirt, 1-1 now the count. It's the first ball thrown today by Bond. The 1-1 offering bounces well before the plate. 2-1 now the count. Final line today for AJ Basseri. 2 innings pitched, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, 0 hits, 0 runs, and 0 earned runs. So a solid outing in the senior's final start. 3-1 now the count to the Knights leadoff hitter. Bond comes set, kicks, deals, fouled off, full count. Nunez in his first at bat struck out looking to avoid that here. Full count, 1 away here in the top of the third. Payoff pitch, grounded foul towards the third baseline. We'll do it again. So Bond looking for that put out pitch. Got that first pitch strike and then fell behind in the count. Just worked his way back. Another good at bat here today as Nunez is working 8th pitch of the at bat here. Misses high. Breaking ball looks like it slipped out of his hand. And the leadoff hitter is on board with a walk. So now standing in will be Luis Mejia, the shortstop here for the Knights. He'll bat with a runner on first, 1 away. First pitch to him will be grounded through the gap and get into left field for a base hit. The Knights have their first hit of the game as they got runners on first and second now with 1 away here in the top of the third.
Yeah, we mentioned Luis Mejia. Of course, we know him for having 3 home runs. Not surprised that he was able to get a contact hit right there. Of course, his earned run average is .62. Didn't score driving any runs there, but his on base plus slugging is .534. So of course that was a statement that was shown right there on display. Next up is another junior known as Javier Romero. Romero has 2 home runs. And this is another guy who you don't want to get on base. He has 8 stolen bases up until this point.
Yeah, I got his 9th earlier today in the first inning after reaching by a hit by pitch. First pitch to him will be roped towards left field. It'll get down for a base hit. Here comes the throw from Schultz. It'll be cut off and misses wide. Runner will score. Runners will advance to second and third on the wild throw. And this game's knotted at 1 apiece.
Not much you can do there. I mean, he was really just speeding around the base path there. I mean, of course, that throw from our view was wide left. So, of course, couldn't really get there in time to apply the tag. But now there's going to be runners at the corners, third and first. You might have to, or no, second and third. So no one's going to be stealing bases, but the Knights right now are in the driver's seat right now when it comes to scoring. They did tie this game 1-1. Let's see what's going to happen here as Evan Rios, the catcher, is going to step up to the dish.
First pitch to Rios. He'll ground that one towards second. Slow roller. A lot of time, though. Gets the job done as he drives in a run on the ground out. 2 away in the inning. Runner on third. 2-1 now the score in favor of the Knights.
So Mejia was that run. And again, on third is Romero. He's looking to be the next runner to score, potentially, depending on how well he's going to be pitching. But right now, it seems like SaberCats kind of made a mistake with changing their pitcher.
Bond will come set. Looking to escape. Only a 1-run deficit. As breaking ball's in there for strike 1 to the right fielder, Sean Barry. Barry, his first time up, grounded out to first base on a check swing. 0-1 count to him. Will be fouled back 0-2. So Barry finds himself down in an 0-2 count quickly here of 2 away in the inning. Pitch in the dirt. Good block there by Gomez. Keeps the runner at bay at third. So Romero will stay put at third. 1-2 the count. 2 away in the inning. Bond looking to get that last out. Here's the pitch. Misses low. 2-2 now the count. Bond maybe over pitching here, trying to do it himself. 2 out. 2-2 count. 2-1. The score fouled back and into the mitt for strike 3. And Bond will escape with minimal damage. The Knights do take the lead, however, 2-1 as we head into the bottom of the third. Top of the order here for the SaberCats to lead off the bottom of the third, following the 2-run top of the inning for the Knights. It'll be Louis Passeri leading off. As he'll look to start a rally for the SaberCats and get back that lost run. First pitch in there, strike 1 at the letters. The 0-1 offering. Misses low. 1-1 the count. Rios giving a nod of approval behind the plate. Like that pitch. Good spot, even though it was a ball. 1-1 count. Miss low and away on the corner. Real good looking pitch, though. From the windup, 2-1. That one misses out. 3-1 now the count. The SaberCats leadoff hitter.
Again, the SaberCats representing yellow and black. They got all yellow uniforms with Saguaro in black written across their chest.
That one's put in play. Popped up towards center. And making the play with ease out there is Romero for out number 1.
We've been seeing a lot from Javier Romero out there in center field. Again, that's his third catch today that he made out there, second catch that he made out there in the outfield. So doing all the work, adding to the depth out there, along with Alfonso Ocha and Sean Berry, doing an excellent job out there. I mean, again, we talk about how this is a defensive game, and we've been for sure seeing that into this point.
First pitch to Bratspis will be an off-speed pitch on the outside corner for strike number 1. Bratspis so far on this one 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. The 0-1 offering. That one's ripped on a line up the middle. It'll get through for a base hit just past the diving Mejia. So the SaberCats Get a runner on. One away in the inning, and now standing in will be the catcher, Alain Gomez. Gomez once again batting from the right side. Hit it hard, but lined out to short his last time up. Looking for some redemption here. Pickoff attempt. And Bratspis is back safely.
Again, all day, Billy Lewis has been getting on his nerves about who's on second and first. He's doing his part at trying to keep that base runner at first.
Slight step pitch in there for strike number 1. A good breaking ball catches the inside corner of the plate. So 0-1 to the SaberCats backstop. Time call, balk is the call. Here as I guess Lewis didn't come completely set for that one, and Bratspis will be awarded second base. So the runner advances to second on the balk. 0-1, the count remains, one away in the inning. Pitch in the dirt, gets away. Bratspis will advance on the pass ball. So just like that, in a matter of one pitch, Bratspis has gone all the way from first to third. Now a runner's just 90 feet away here for Alain Gomez. 1-1. Catches the outside corner for strike 2.
Again, Alain Gomez, 2 home runs, 20 hits. We talked about how in those 20 hits he had 17 RBIs. Here is his chance to potentially do that and add to his rap sheet of now 18 RBIs. Let's see what he does here.
1-2. Misses low. 2-2 the count. Gomez immigrated from Venezuela. Really cool story. He's already committed to South Carolina. Switch hitting catcher. Great arm. Lots of power. 2-2 pitch is roped to third, and another line out as Bratspis dives back in safely, and Gomez been very unlucky today.
Again, we talk about the infield, right? The infield that the Knights have been having up until this point have been really effective. I mean, from Luis Mejia having a nice grab out there at playing the shortstop position to then now we're seeing Zach Tanner take a nice little snag. I mean, nothing's getting past the infield right now on those line drives.
So now sending in will be Kyle Miller. He got the second inning rally started with his leadoff double. See what he does here if 2 away. First pitch, he'll foul off behind the SaberCats dugout for strike number 1. Miller had that beautiful 10-pitch at bat that resulted in his double back in the second. The 0-1 offering to him. Poke down the left field line, hooking, foul. So quickly Miller finds himself down in a hole, 0-2. 2 away in the inning. Runner on third. Choke up on the bat here. Just look to put something in the outfield and get Bratspis to come home. Tie this game up at 2 apiece. The 0-2 offering. Misses low. 1-2 the count. Miller, the first baseman. The 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball is hit high towards center field, and it'll be an easy can of corn play there for Romero. So the SaberCats threaten, but nothing goes. 2-1 as we head to the top of the 4th.
I'm Liz Landon, a sophomore at the University of Florida with Varsity. I'm Liz Landon, a sophomore at the University of Florida with Varsity Sports Show. Gainesville is on fire. After 18 long years, the Florida Gators have clinched the NCAA National Championship, and the city is absolutely buzzing. The last time we felt this euphoria was back in 2006 and 2007 when the Gators went back-to-back. Now the chant is back, Gator boys stay hot, and things are definitely exciting. Under coach Todd Golden, the Gators have a season to remember. With a 36-4 record, they took down giants like number 1 Auburn and Tennessee. Walter Clayton Jr., who once had offers to play college football, chose basketball and became our hero. His clutch plays, especially in the Final Four, earned him the Most Outstanding Player award. The passion in Gainesville was palpable. Fans camped outside the O'Connell Center during the regular season and later outside local eateries, eager to secure spots to witness history unfold on the screens. When the final buzzer sounded, tears flowed and University Avenue transformed into a sea of orange and blue. The Gator Boys weren't just champions, they were legends. The celebration wasn't confined to Gainesville. From Boston to Miami, Gator alumni and bands gathered, united by pride and nostalgia. Even the Empire State Building paid homage, illuminating New York skyline in Gator colors, a testament to the team's nationwide impact. On campus, the players became instant celebrities. Their appearances at local spots like Cantina drew crowds, turning ordinary outings into fan-frenzied events. The Gator Boys have become the heart and soul of Gainesville. As the season concludes, the team faces transitions. Key players
Welcome
Will
back
Richard.
to the top of the 4th inning. Standing in here to lead off the 4th, it will be Jacob De La Rosa, the first baseman for the Knights. Still no registered at bat for him today. He issued a walk back in the 2nd. His first time facing Bond today, and he'll take ball 1 to start his at bat. That one's ripped towards short. Unable to field it there is Bratzbis. And De La Rosa will reach on the E6. So now standing in will be Zach Tanner, the third baseman today for the Knights. He'll step up with a runner on first, just like he did back in the 2nd. However, back in the 2nd, went down by way of the K, looking to recover this time around. Bond comes set, kicks, deals, bunt shown. Foul ball as it hits him on the shin before he can get out of the box. Strike 1. So let's see if Tanner continues to stick with the bunt after his first failed attempt. Ball misses, 1-1 the count. De La Rosa gets his lead at first. Bond kicks, steals. That one's roped towards the right center gap. Moving back, it'll get down. Ball will come in. Runners will hold at 2nd and 3rd. And it's a double for Zach Tanner.
That was a great hit by Zach Tanner right there. That was all the way to the wall. Good job to put both runners, including himself, in scoring position. And, considering they're already up by 1, they could potentially add to that. I mean, ever since the 2nd inning, it's been all offense that we've been seeing from the Knights. And the transition from their great offensive aggression from the second inning all the way here into the 3rd. I mean, it's really been the 4th. It's been really helping them out in this game, especially when we have another heavy hitter known as Alfonso Ochoa.
First pitch to Ochoa. Misses for ball 1. There's no outs. Runners in scoring position. In there for strike 1. Back pick. Not successful. 1-1 the count. Gomez really likes those back picks from home plate, trying to catch the runners off guard. 1-1 pitch is roped into left field. That'll get 1 home. Second runner coming around. Throw in. Not in time. And it's a 2 RBI single for Ochoa.
And that's exactly what he needs after grounding out his last at-bat. Finally getting on the board now. helping his teammate out, helping his team out crucially here. He's now at first base, and he's also a very quick runner too. So not only just that hit helps out the team, but let's see what he does around the base paths.
So Bond struggling here against the Knights. No outs in the inning, already 2 runs surrendered.
And if you're a SaberCat fan, you're kind of wondering why Baum got put into the game in just the second inning.
Grounded back to the pitcher. Throw will go to second. Gets the lead runner on the ground out from Lewis. 1 away in the inning. So we'll go back to the top of the order, and Mikey Nanias 0 for 1 on the day with a walk and a strikeout. Nanias came around and ended up scoring the first run for the Knights back in the third to tie it at 1 at the time. Now they hold a comfortable 4-1 lead here in the fourth. Ball gets away from Gomez. Lewis will go down to second. He'll stand up on the wild pitch. So only 1 away in the inning. Wild pitch advances the runner to second. And we'll get a pinch runner here. So in high school, you can sub in a pinch runner for your pitchers and your catchers. And it looks like for the Knights, it'll be Brian Cardenas. Bond comes set. Kicks, deals, in there, strike number 1. Cardenas, the runner at second. 1-1 count, 1 away in the inning. It's popped up. Bermuda triangle along the line. Miller can't grab it. It falls fair. Cardenas will advance to third on the base hit.
Another hit added, and through all these hits, they have still been unable to obtain a second out in this inning. There's 1 out in this game. Is now a 3-run lead. Both runners at the corners, and if you're the Knights right now with a runner on the corners, you might have that runner from first potentially take second base. They've been very successful at stealing second base in this game. But as for the Swallow SaberCats, they might have to change up some things. Of course, the off-speed pitches are now being found. He might have to use his four-seamer and use that effectively here, but maybe dot the outer part of the plate, maybe inch the upper part of the plate. But right now, it seems like the Knights are starting to catch on to his pitches.
So Bond comes set. First pitch will be in the dirt. Runners stay put at the corners. Want to know the count. As we saw before Mejia stepped to the plate, Gomez went out in front of the plate, did some signs. Typical first and third play calling in case the runner decides to go. Pickoff attempt, not in time.
And he's doing his job, Baum. He's doing his job at just keeping him at first base. He knows that the runner's at the corners, nobody's on second base. He doesn't want to add a second runner into scoring position, so he's doing a good job of keeping him on. And there is quite a lead at first base, so that's why we're seeing him try to pick him off.
That one's grounded towards second. And unable to field it there is Basseri. Another run will come home to score. It's the second error of the inning for the SaberCats.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier how defense is key. Defense is what wins games and keeps us. We know in the beginning of the game it was a defensive game. It was a pitching duel. But now it's kind of a batting practice out there. And as for the infield, they have to do a little bit better of a job at just keeping the ball in the infield and not into the outfield, because that's what's costing them the runs. Both runners are now at second and first. Let's see what happens here in this 3-run lead.
First pitch there to Romero, misses, ball 1. Some real signs of fatigue here from Bond. He's been getting hit around a bit. Runners on first and second, the 1-0. That one's grounded towards short. 6, 4, not in time! And yet another error in the inning for the SaberCats.
Yeah, that looked like an easy 6-4-3 double play right there, but it seems like they were too slow at getting it over to second base. It seems like from our perspective that Braspis, I mean, he was able to get that ball, but he already looked at Basiri, and he already saw that the runner was already almost at second base, so he had to just eat that one up. As there's going to be now a pitching, now there's now going to be a talk on the mound by the infield, an infield talk, I should say, as they all are going to surround the plate now, or surround the mound.
Yeah, head coach Joe Mickey comes out trying to talk to his young pitcher in Carter Bond.
And what do you think Mickey's telling his players?
Got to tell him to lock in, tighten up. It's a lot of mistakes that this defense shouldn't be making right now, and get them to calm down, cool their heads, and just focus on getting these last 2 outs.
As they're now dispersing from the mound, back and getting ready to play some ball again to resume play. Of course, both runners, the base is loaded, and we know that when bases are loaded after what we've been seeing from the Knights, they could potentially just increase their lead. There's only one out in this inning, so they might have to turn two here. They got no other choice because right now it seems like the pitcher's having a hard time finding the location, and even when he works the off-speed pitches, they're getting hit. So maybe he has to use his first four-seamer a little bit more effectively here, and let's see where he can locate his pitch next.
First pitch is grounded to short. 6, 4, 3 double play, and a good job by Bond to get out of it. But the damage has been done. 3 runs scored in that top of the first. 5-1 the lead for the Knights as we head to the bottom of the inning. Welcome back to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Saguaro High School. We would like to apologize for the technical difficulties. It's a very hot day out here in Arizona, and some of our equipment has been overheating, so we've been doing our best to give it as much shade as possible. If the sun's setting, it's directly on us, and we're doing all that we can, so we do apologize for those technical difficulties, and we'll do our best to present the game in a manner that makes it easy for you guys to understand. As ball 1 is in there to Kason Williams here to lead off the bottom of the 4th. That pitch runs in and drills him in the back. So Williams will reach with a hit by pitch. Got him right on the tush. So no one out in the inning. Runner on first to lead off. And now standing in will be Henry Jacoby, the lone RBI hitter for this SaberCats team in this one. Lewis now working from the stretch. Comes set. Kicks. Deals. Runs that one inside. Want to know the count. Nice job there by Lewis to go back inside after issuing the hit by pitch. A lot of pitchers are afraid to do that. 1-0 count, runner goes. Ball misses, and Williams will advance. No throw. Will be standing up for the stolen base. So Jacoby now with the runner in scoring position. 2-0 count. He'll hit that one down the right field line. It'll drop fair. He'll round the first. He'll go for 2. Williams rounds third. He'll score. And the SaberCats cut the lead down to 3. It's 5-2 following the RBI double.
That's exactly how they have to respond. Of course, after giving up 4 runs in just that, almost 4 runs in just that last inning, of course, they're going to have to change something up a little bit. But of course, as we know, Billy Lewis is still on this mound pitching through 4 innings. So going into this game, if you're him, I mean, you've already gave up only just 1 run and now 2. He might be getting tired.
So now standing in will be Vinny Keck. First pitch he'll take at the eyes for ball 1. Henry Jacoby has 2 RBIs today. The only 2 runs driven in by a SaberCat. The single and a double. 1-0 count. Again misses high. 2-0 now the count. The SaberCats center fielder. Keck so far in this one, no official at bats. Walked back in the second. 2-0 offering to him. A little jam shot will pop up and be fielded by the first baseman De La Rosa in foul territory. 1 away in the inning. So now standing in will be Brick Schultz, the left fielder for the SaberCats. He's 0 for 1 today. Scratch that. We got a pinch hitter coming in. It's Kingston Sinner, who will be pinch hitting for Brick Schultz. Strike in there. 1-1 now the count. Center with his first at bat of the game. The 1 pitch is driven towards center field. Backtracking there is Romero. He'll make the catch. Runner will tag. And in there in time. So the flyout will advance the runner.
That was a great throw by Javier Romero right there. I mean, he was playing the center field position, had to just gun that all the way down. It was even past the third base. So that was a beautiful throw. Unfortunately, he was not able to get that runner out. They got a runner on third base now. Saguaro, I mean, they're still in this game. Yeah, they're down by 3, but they still can respond here, especially with 2 outs in this inning.
First pitch in there for strike 1. As we have yet another pinch hitter for the SaberCats. This one will be Chasen Neiman. He'll foul that one back. 0-2 now the count. 2 away in the inning. And Lewis looking to escape yet another jam. The 0-2 pitch. Well above the head. 1-2 now the count. Neiman stands back into the left-handed batter's box. 1-2 offering. Catches the corner for strike 3. Gets him looking. And the Knights will walk into the top of the 5th. Up 3. We'll be back after this. So a couple big defensive changes here for the SaberCats as Kyle Miller will move from first base to the pitcher's mound, and Louis Passeri will move from second to first. Taichi Ubino will come off the bench and play second base, and following the pinch hitting, Kingston Center will be playing left, and Chase Neiman will be playing right.
And, taking a look at the 4A Desert Sky region, of course, we're getting closer and closer to playoffs. Saguaro is in the second spot, and behind him is St. Mary's. So we talked about how in our pregame show, both these teams are neck and neck. Of course, this is going to be it was a pitching game getting into this game, and now it's a hitting game as they're now trying to equally have the amount of hits as each other. And according to the Arizona Division Conference 4A, LA Gilbert with the 14-9 records in first place, and behind him is St. Mary's with a 13-9 record. So things are looking good as we get into playoffs. But right now, it all starts with the game that's in front of our faces between the SaberCats and the Knights. 5-2 the score as we're here in the top of the fifth inning.
The first pitch from Miller misses high for ball one. It'll be Sean Berry, the right fielder, leading off for the Knights. Swing and miss. 1-1 now the count. Berry. That pitch misses high. 2-1 now the count. The 2-1 offering. That one's hit back up the middle. Fielded by Ubino. Throw across will be in time. 1 away in the inning. So a good job by Miller to get the ground out and start the inning off without any runners on. So now standing in will be the first baseman, Jacob De La Rosa. So for one today with a walk and a reached on error. Later come around to score. First offering to him. In there for strike one. Miller comes set. Kicks. Fires. Misses up. 1-1 the count. The 1-1 misses well up and away. 2-1 now the count. Miller comes set. Kicks. Fires. Misses up and out yet again. 3-1 the count. Miller's find himself behind in the counts often and early here. The 3-1. At the neck. Will be taken for ball four. And De La Rosa reaches with the second walk of the game.
Now what you want to have here, the SaberCats, you just want to hold them at 5, and having a runner now on first base. Again, Jacob De La Rosa, not a player to steal, but I mean, it all takes one good hit, and they're all rounding the bases and scoring. It's exactly what they did in the fourth inning. They could potentially do it here, but let's see if Williams can hold them here with just one out in this inning.
Speaking of that fourth inning, now standing in will be Zach Tanners. He's the one who got the rally started for them with that double back in the fourth. Came around to score as well. 1-0 count to Tanner. Pitch from Miller. Swung on and miss. 1-1. Tanner so far today, 1 for 2 with that double that we mentioned earlier. That one's hit high in the air towards center field. It's shallow. It'll drop in no man's land, but the play will go to second. Throw goes wild. And we will have runners on first and second. I don't know what to mark that down as a base hit or error or what. Ball lands in no man's land, and we'll count it as a base hit. So now have some discussions as we'll have a pinch runner coming in for Jacob De La Rosa. It'll be Arturo Espino. So a pinch runner will be over at second base as Espino comes in. The young freshman, one of 4 freshmen on this young Knights team. And now it looks like we're having a equipment malfunction as the helmet flaps were a little loose there for Ochoa.
How do you think Saguaro is going to have to turn this game around?
Definitely got to lock in the pitching, be a little better on the defensive side as well. Seen some errors, some tough plays, and got to get the bats going as well as, always got to get the bats going. Can't win if you can't score runs.
It was a defensive game, and now it's an offensive game as we now head to the top of the 5th inning.
Fouled back. 0-1 the count to the Knights left fielder. Miller comes set. The 0-1. In the dirt. 1-1 now the count. One out, 1 ball, 1 strike. Here to Ochoa. Fell back in the mid, back pick, not in time. 1-2 the count. Another heads up play from Gomez. As we said earlier, he loves those back picks. He'll throw them from really to any base. Seen him throw down to second from time to time as well. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on a miss. Had a ball in the dirt. And down goes Ochoa, 2 away in the inning. Now standing in will be Billy Lewis, the opposing pitcher. Here, Lewis 0 for 2, the ground out, and a fielder's choice. Came around to score on that fielder's choice. First pitch to him in the 5th. Misses low for ball 1. This is Lewis's first lefty-lefty matchup as Bond came in to face him in the 3rd. Takes ball 2 there, a bit low. Two-0 offering. Misses outside. So 3-0, and Miller's in danger of walking the 9-hole hitter.
Especially when you got 2 outs here. I mean, it's really any base goes. So let's see if Miller can take advantage of that. But he's
3-0.
behind.
Get me over fastball, strike 1. Miller comes set. Kicks, deals, fouled off. Now the count runs full. So working him backwards, starts at a 3-0 count, gets it back to a full count. Full count, 2 away in the inning, 2 runners on. They'll both be on the move. So they sit at first and second. Miller comes set. Runners go. That one will be grounded to second. Fielded by Abino. Throw over to first in time. And Miller able to escape the jam. Gets away scot-free. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th. Welcome back into the bottom of the 5th inning here at Saguaro High School. It's the first pitch to Louis Passeri is ball in the dirt for ball 1. Be the top of the order leading off the 5th inning for the SaberCats. Passeri so far today 0 for 2 with a ground out and fly out. Pitch misses outside there. 2-0 the count.
He's trying to add to his hitting column this season as he has 23 hits, trying to look to add to that.
Pitch will be put in play, grounded towards second, and the play made with ease. 1 away in the 5th. We do have a new pitcher on the mound here for the Knights. It'll be Sean Berry coming in. So Berry comes in from right field to pitch. The first pitch to Bradspis misses high, ball 1. And Lewis will transition to right field. Ball misses there. 2-0 now the count. Berry from the stretch. That one misses. 3-0 now the count to the SaberCats short. Get me over in there, strike number 1. Three-one count. Fouled back, count runs full. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th. Payoff pitch. It's hit high towards center field. Backtracking there is Romero, and he will make the catch. 2 away in the inning here in this one.
Yeah, I think if you're the SaberCats, you got to avoid these quick innings. You got to really have some power. I mean, we've been seeing some good hits, but again, we talked about how the Knights have some good depth out there in the outfield, having a backtrack. Of course, they're playing. That's 84 feet out there. 384 feet. So they got a lot of depth to fill out there, and of course, they're doing that so well into this game. As this is inside and below the knees. 1-0 the count.
1-0 the count to Alain Gomez as the switch hitter will flip around and bat from the left side this time around for the first time today. Swing and miss at a pitch a little high, 1-1.
It's cool seeing a switch hitter for Saguaro. You don't see a lot of switch hitters in high school baseball. That's something that actually is a talent.
Berry comes set. 1-1 offering in there for strike number 2. And Gomez finds himself in a hole quickly.
Sean Berry started this game off playing the right field spot. Now here he is on the mound, having to just keep this score where it's at.
Just missed on the outside corner there. 2-2 now the count. Comes set. 2-2 offering. Cranked high in the air, but roping well foul. As Gomez stays alive. So Gomez showing off his power of that swing. But all for nothing is it's just a foul ball to stay alive in this at-bat. 2-2 once more. Gets him chasing that a low one. Down goes Gomez, strike 3. We'll head to the top of the 6th as the Knights lead 5-2. Top of the 6th. It'll be the top of the order for the Knights as Mikey Nunez will stand in. 1 for 3 on the day. Got a base hit, run scored, and a walk. As he'll face Kyle Miller for the first time today. First pitch, misses high, ball 1. Want to know the count? In there. 1-1 now to the Knights second baseman. Swung on and miss, 1-2. Only the second time Miller's gotten ahead in the count here today. Fouled off. So good job by Nunez to stay alive.
Now Miller did a great job last inning to just get out of that just get out of that jam, and he did so well, leaving him at 5. Let's see if he can do that again. He really did a good job at relying off his defense behind him, doing a great job at doing that.
So ball 2 misses up and away there. Swung on and missed, strike 3. As down goes Nunez for the second time today. 1 away in the top of the 6th.
And that just shows you which pitch to actually use. Of course, we saw that fastball right there, very effective to put him out and put one out on the board. But yeah, I mean that four-seam fastball worked well for him. At this point, it's all about where he's going to relocate it, especially against these hitters who have already totaled 5 runs into this game.
First pitch misses there, ball 1. So Luis Mejia stand to the plate. And he'll rope that one towards first base. Throw over will not be in time. He'll beat it out for the infield single.
It's a very fast play right there. Some good hustle. That's what the Knights needed going into this game. Of course, everyone on this Knights squad would love to just get on base, and he really wanted that one, and he got it due to that hustle. That was some great hustle right there. Now batting's going to be number 15, Javier Romero. We talked about Javier Romero playing the center field spot today. 2 home runs, 9 stolen bases. Got a stolen base earlier in today's game. Don't want him to get on base because that's another speedy guy. But also has an average of .424 going into this at-bat.
First pitch taken there for strike 1. Romero so far today, 1 for 2, hit by pitch, a single and an error. Throw down with the runner going. Got it! No, he didn't. Ball slipped out of the glove of Bratspis. Had him for a second, but Bratspis unable to hold on to it.
That's unfortunate because it seems like Mejia, when he was trying to take second base, he ran into the shortstop Bratspis. Because of that, the ball kind of got hit out of the mitt. So
1-1 count. Misses low and in, 2-1. So despite being 1 for 2 on the day, it looks like we're just going to get an intentional walk here issued to Romero. So he's still 1 for 2 on the day, but has reached base all 4 times he stepped to the plate.
The intentional walk was primarily to get him to potentially turn 2 on this play. Of course, turning 2, Miller's already done it in the last inning, so coach is pretty confident in having him turn 2 here. That's why they got an intentional walk. So now they have a runner in scoring position and at first. That runner at first being Romero. Here comes Evan Rios, the catcher.
Ball 1 taken there to Rios. Rios already has grounded into a double play. He did that back in the 4th with a 6-4-3 and a bases loaded jam. 1-0 the count to him. It's the offering. Swung on and miss, 1-1.
Swinging for the fences on that right there. Good aggressive hack right there. Of course, you're not going to want to get a lead, especially with 1 out here. So nobody's taking too much of a wide lead off their base. Again, 2 on. Here comes a pitch to catcher Rios.
1-1. Miller, a long time in the pause. Looking back, the runners pops that one up towards the right field line. Moving over there is Neiman. It'll fall foul.
Make that a 1-2 count now with 1 out with 2 on. Again, Miller just looking for this double play. Again, we talked about how the SaberCats, they've been using their infield quite efficiently into this game. Of course, it's not all about the pitcher. It's about who's behind you, and I think that's what's going to be a key in stopping this lead from potentially growing. 5-2 the score here. Sun still beaming. Very hot day today. 93 out.
The 1-2 offering. That one's chopped towards short. And miscommunication as short and third baseman collide. Runners will all be safe. Bases loaded here on the chaotic play.
That was a weird play right there. Both players kind of ran into each other. We got Williams, we got the third baseman who was all the way at third. He merged in with Braspis. Braspis said he called it, but no one could get a play on that one. And now their bases are juiced. And this is the second time that bases have been loaded now for the Knights squad. So, but still, you can still turn 2, and that's exactly what Miller's going to want to do here, especially pitching through now 2 innings of work.
Bunt shown there by Barry. Pulls back, ball 1. Barry started the game in right field, came in to pitch bottom of the 5th. An opportunity to grow this lead past the save situation. 1-0 count. Kicks, fires, runs inside. As Barry backs out, 2-0. Barry so far today, 0 for 3, 2 groundouts and a strikeout. Miller will step off. Didn't feel comfortable up there on the mound. Will re-engage. Comes set. Kicks, fires. Up and away. 3-0 count. And serious danger of walking in a run here.
And if you're Miller, you can't really worry about who's on base and who's not, because at the end of the day, it's your infield that's going to be turning the plays. At this point, you just got to get your pitch up and over the zone. But 3-0 count is not going to be what the SaberCats want to be in right now. Which is why Mickey's going to have a conversation with Miller right now at the mound.
Yeah, good time to call a meeting there from head coach Joe Mickey. It's clear that Miller wasn't comfortable up there on the mound and struggling here. 3-0 count, 1 away in the inning with the bases loaded. Good opportunity to make your way out there, talk to your pitcher, get him to calm down for a bit and try and get these last 2 outs. So the meeting will disengage. Players will make their way back to their positions. 3-0 count to the number 5 hole hitter for this Knights team. Offering in there for strike 1. Took a little off the fastball there just to get it over. The 3-1. That one's grounded foul. As Luis Mejia went up on his toes to avoid that one. Full count payoff pitch. Rope towards left field. Backtracking to center. He'll make the grab. Mejia will tag. All runners will advance on the flyout, and it'll be a sac fly. So now standing in will be Jacob De La Rosa. 0 for 1 on the day, reached on an error, came around to score 2 walks. So he's reached base in every at-bat so far. 2 away in the inning, runners in scoring position. First pitch from Miller. Be fouled back, strike 1. Miller surrenders his first earned run on the sac fly. Looking to make that his only earned run in this one. Breaking ball slipped out of his hands, misses high, 1-1. Comes set. Kicks. Deals. In there, strike 2 on the outside corner. So De La Rosa finds himself behind in the count. 2 away in the inning. Ducks on the pond. Here we go. That one off the end of the bat. And line foul. So good job by De La Rosa to stay in this. Miller peers in. Comes set. The 1-2 once more. Rope towards left field. And will be cut. On the run there by center. But the damage has been done. A sac fly makes this a 4-run deficit. The SaberCats will have 2 more innings. Try and get those runs back. We'll be back at the bottom of the 6th. Welcome back in. Bottom of the 6th here at Saguaro High School. Brady Hanson alongside Tyler Wargo. We thank you for tuning in to join us for Senior Day here as the SaberCats find themselves down big 6-2 here in the bottom of the 6th as Kyle Miller will stand in, take ball 1. It's his first at bat against Sean Berry. Fouled that one off for strike number 1. Miller so far today 1 for 2 with a double. Back in the second, he came around to score on the RBI single by Jacoby. And he'll rope that one towards left field. Camped under it is Ochoa. He will make the grab for out number 1. So now standing in will be Kason Williams. 0 for 1 on the day with a flyout. Hit by pitch. He also came around to score back in the 4th from Henry Jacoby's double. Williams also has a stolen bag to his name so far today. Breaking ball in there for strike number 1. Misses high. 1-1 the count. That one's poked high in the air. Drifting over is De La Rosa. He will not have a play. Count runs up to 1-2 now to Williams. So Sean Barry been doing a good job so far since he's come on in relief. That one will be hit towards right field. It'll drop in for a base hit. So a little jam shot by Kason Williams will be the first base hit surrendered by Sean Barry.
So it seems like third base coach Joe Mickey having a word with the home plate umpire. Just want to make sure he might get a pinch hitter in this game.
Looks like we got a pinch runner here for Williams. See who that is. Looks like to be number 3, Davis Diller, coming in.
Seniors started this game off. Now we're starting to see some sophomores and juniors get an opportunity at this game. Of course, it's a high-stakes game. Both teams are neck and neck according to their divisional standings. So Coach Mickey making all the right moves here.
Ball in the dirt. And just like that, Diller will advance to second on the first pitch he's in the game for. 1-0 will be the count. Have time called as Nunez had to retie his shoe over there at second. Henry Jacoby, or scratch out, we have a pinch hitter for Jacoby. It's Anthony Gilligan. Swing and a miss there. I can't tell if that's a 1 or an 8 or a 9. So it could also be Jake Claver. And it is 19. It is Anthony Gilligan as he falls behind 1 and 2.
Yeah, Gilligan didn't start this game off playing. Now here he is getting opportunity to potentially drive in a run. They do have a runner in scoring position. And if they got to attack, they got to attack now. Bottom of the 6th inning, 6-2 the score.
Swung on and missed, strike 3. And a very questionable call to say they're bringing in Anthony Gilligan after Henry Jacoby was, 2 for 2 of 2 RBIs, the only 2 RBIs for the SaberCats. So the risky move doesn't pan out for head coach Mickey. And the SaberCats will look to try and salvage something of 2 away here as Kingston Stanner stands in. Scratch that. This is Taichi Abino. First pitch to him will miss for ball 1. One now the count. That one's grounded up the middle, and it bounces high over the head. Runner will come around. Here's the throw home. Not in time. RBI single for Rubino. And the SaberCats bring the lead back down to 3.
And they do have a runner at first base, so if that runner can be a little bit quicker on the base pass, then you can get to second base, and they can get yet another runner in scoring position. However, they are down by 3 with 2 outs in this inning. Of course, this is their second to last at bat or time to be at the plate. So let's see if they can manifest that. Of course, scoring 1 run last half of the inning was the Knights, and now it's the Cats with kind of.
Runner goes. Pitch in there for a strike. Abino slides in safely. Bit of a late slide. Scary to see as a coach or a fan or a parent. Regardless, gets the bag. 0-1 the count. Pitch is hit high in the air. Fouled back towards us. And will land right behind us for strike number 2. Abino on second. Center at the plate. 0-2, 2 away in the inning. Pitch. Misses low and away. Ball 1. One-two count to the left fielder for the SaberCats. Again, misses low and away. 2-2. 2 outs, 2 strikes, 2 balls here in the inning. The delivery. That one's poked towards the right center gap. It's shallow. It'll get down for a base hit. Another run will come around to score. Center's rounding for second. He's in there with a slide. It's a 2-run ball game.
Now you got to ask your questions if you want to keep your pitcher in or not. Of course, we're getting towards the later innings of the game. Coach Mickey making all the right moves with their pinch runners, pinch hitters, doing a great job at transitioning their momentum from the beginning of the game to the very end. We talked about how this was a pitching duel prior to this game starting, and now it's a hitting duel as both teams are trying to equal out the amount of hits by both teams in their hitting. But 6-4 the score. It is getting close. Let's see what the Cats can do.
So now standing in will be another pinch hitter. Will be number 18, Jake Claver. Claver will drill one towards center, but it'll hang up for Romero, and that'll be a quick out number 3. But the SaberCats get 2 back. It's 6-4 as we head to the 7th inning. Lots of changes on the defensive end to start the 7th inning. So we have a new pitcher in Kason Williams. He'll move from the hot corner. And now taking over the hot corner will be Alain Gomez. Now catching will be Luis Becerri. As Kyle Miller will move back to first base. Anthony Gilligan will take over left field. And it'll be Jake Claver taking over right. And Kingston Center will move to center. Ball 1 is the first pitch from Williams. Zach Tanner stands in. Pitch is fouled off. 1-1 the count. The 1-1 offering. That one's roped up the middle. It'll get through for a base hit. Leadoff hitter on for the Knights as Tanner picks up his 3rd hit of the game. Now standing in will be Alfonso Ochoa. Ochoa so far today, 1 for 3. Got a base hit back in the 4th. Bunt shown, gets it down beautifully. Becerri will field it. Throw over to first. Bit low, gets away. Runners will move another 90 feet and stay there. So the E2 will advance Ochoa all the way to second. Now we got runners in scoring position for Billy Lewis.
Seems like Gomez, when he tried to throw down to first base, his helmet was kind of blocking his vision, so he couldn't. Bisseri was the helmet, the catcher's helmet was kind of blocking his vision, so he kind of threw that kind of well away from Miller over there at first base, and that's what caused the error.
First pitch to Lewis misses. Ball 1. Lewis started the game on the mound. It's now in right field. Voice crack. Oh my God. Excuse me. Now in right field as he cuts and misses there. 1-1. 0 for 3 so far today. He's got 2 groundouts and a fielder's choice. 1-1 pitch misses low. 2-1 the count. Two one offering. Misses outside. 3-1 now. So Williams in danger of walking the 9-hole hitter. Load the bases for the top of the order. Gets that one over. Strike 2. Full count. Count full. Nobody away. Ducks on the pond here for the Knights. Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Down goes Lewis. That'll bring up the top of the order. So the first punch out is the first recorded out for Cason Williams. Bissaria will give him a little pep talk here up on the mound. Top of the order now as Mikey Nanez will step to the plate. So now the entire infield coming in to discuss. Looks like we're ready to go. Nanez today, 1 for 3, 2 strikeouts, a base hit, and a walk. Did come around to score back in the third on that walk. Now head coach Joe Mickey will make his way out. Looks like the trainer as well. Be interesting to see what's going on here. Looks like they're talking to Taichi Abino. Can't really tell what they're saying the problem is.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of played through it, but until they now stop the game, and now everyone in the infield is huddling around what's going on.
So no way of really telling until it's done.
Seemed like they're pointing to his arm.
Maybe injured his arm a bit on the bunt because there was a bit of a collision there at first base with the wild throw. But it looks like Abino will be okay and will stay in this game. So Mike Nanez will step to the plate. Runners in scoring position, 1 away. Top 7, 6-4 the score. Pickoff attempt. Gets away! Runners will advance another 90 feet, and that'll bring a run home.
That was a careless throw right there to the third baseman. Not too much of the communication was on point right there. It was wide left of the third baseman, and it went all the way to the wall to the third base wall. But 7-4 the score, and only kind of hurts the energy that the Saguaros were having up until this point. 1 out in this inning.
Pitch there, taken up and in. Ball 1. So the E1 will bring home a run. Breaking ball in there for strike number 1 to the Knights leadoff hitter.
And the Knights are still threatening. They have a runner on third base looking to score. Nobody else on.
And there's strike two. 1-2 now the count. As Williams looks to escape this one. Minimal damage. Catches him looking for strike three. Down goes Nunez. And 2 away in the inning. Now standing in will be Luis Mejia. 2 for 4 so far in the day with 2 singles. Came around and scored both times. First pitch to him. Misses for ball 1. Pitch in there, strike 1. Catches the zone, low and away. 1-1. Seven for the score. Knights with a runner on third and a chance to widen that lead. Breaking ball in there. 1-2 now the count. Williams, 1 strike away from escaping the jam. Comes set. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Ball gets past Passeri. Passeri will dive after it. Run will come home to score as Williams wasn't there to cover the plate. So it'll be a strikeout. Runner will advance. The run will come home. It's 8-4.
Yeah, I mean, it's now a 4-run deficit. Those errors have just kept them adding on to their lead. If those errors were not taking place, they would have still been only down by 2, but those errors is what costed them, and now there's a runner on first.
First pitch misses for ball 1 to Javier Romero. Romero so far today, 1 for 2. He's got a base hit, 2 walks, and reached on an error. So he takes strike 1 there. It's the only batter today for St. Mary's who's reached base every time he's been up to the plate. Runner goes. That one's put in play towards right field. It'll get down for a base hit. Good job cutting it off there by Claver, excuse me. And another base hit will make Romero reach base all 5 times he's touched the plate today. Runners on the corners now, 2 away in the inning.
Not too sure if any runners are going to be a little bit more aggressive on the base paths, especially when they're already up by 4. Seems like the catcher is trying to have a word with it. Buseri, who's still the catcher going into his 3rd inning of work, he is calling off the signs.
Williams kicks, fires. Good block there from Buseri. Ball 1 to the catcher, Evan Rios. The 1-0. Misses up and in, 2-0. Rios so far today, 0 for 4, reached on an error back in the 6th. The 2-0. Chase is high, 2-1. Williams comes set, kicks, deals. Hit high in the air, moving in is center. He'll make the grab, and the SaberCats finally get out of the inning, but not after the damage is done. 8-4. The Knights bring the lead back up to 4. We'll be back with the final half inning of play. Welcome back in. Bottom of the 7th. Here is the SaberCats' last chance. Got to score 4 to push it to extras. Need 5 for the win. And it'll be the top of the order if Louis Basseri. This isn't the best part of the order you'd like to see. A combined 1 for 9 today are the top 3 hitters for the SaberCats team. First pitch taken there for ball 1. That one hit coming from Xander Bratzbus all the way back in the 3rd. That one's poked high in the air. Drifting over is Nanez. He will make the play on the line for the first out.
Both teams got some great defense out there, and of course, that's been put to the test from the first inning to the last inning. Great execution by both squads. However, at this point, it's all about the hitting and just having to equal out the amount of hits.
So now standing in will be Xander Bratzbus. As I mentioned, he's the only one of the first 3 batters on the Saguaro team with a hit. So he takes ball 1 there. Combined 1 for 10 now at the plate. Inside ball 2. Sun's starting to get low right at our eye level here on the first baseline. 2-0. Again misses in. 3-0 the count. Three 0. Get me over in there for strike 1. Comes set, kicks, deals. That one's hit towards the right center gap. And it'll get down for a base hit. Bratzbus will round second and hold there with the stand-up double. So some life here for the SaberCats in the bottom of the 7th.
Proving your point, he got a hit earlier today, carrying that into that at-bat. I mean, that was a great hit right there. Good double right there. It's only going to give him more momentum. However, and they can't even turn 2 now that he got to second base with that double. So let's see what this next batter can do here with 1 out in the inning. They still are down by 4 in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Alain Gomez will stand in. Right-handed batter's box. Left-handed, excuse me, with the right-hander on the mound. First pitch he takes will be ball 1. Gomez so far today 0 for 3, 2 lineouts and a strikeout. So we've seen so far today, and when he puts one in play, it's hit hard. Ball misses there. 2-0 now the count. So Sean Berry showing a little bit of fatigue here. Gave up 2 last inning. Got a runner on here. That one's popped high in the air. Fell back. 2-1 now the count. Earlier this season in the game against Flagstaff, it was Gomez to be the one to play hero. In a 0-0 game, got an RBI single in the bottom of the 8th to win it. Pitch taken there for ball 3. Beautiful breaking ball, just missed. The 3-1 offering. Well up and out, and Gomez walks. So now runners on first and second. Double play will be in action as Kyle Miller will stand to the plate. We'll have a mound meeting. Coach Chris Rodeo will head his way up to the mound, talk with his fielders. We will have a pinch runner for Gomez. It'll be Ryan Heskett. Now I'm starting to run out of room on my score sheet for all these players coming into the game. So the mound meeting is adjourned. And Miller will step up to the plate. 1 away, 2 runners on here in the bottom of the 7th. Down 4. First pitch he sees is fouled off. Tracing over is Tanner, but it will be well out of play for strike one. Miller so far today, 1 for 3. Got a double back in the second. It's flown out twice since then. The 0-1 pitch. That one's on the ground and through into right field. Coming around will be Bratspis. He'll be waved home. Throw in, not in time. And the SaberCats cut it back down to 3 runs. 8-5 now.
Yeah, that was right through the gap and into the outfield. That was a great hit right there. 1 out in this inning still. I mean, Saguaro, they could potentially put maybe another run on the board. Let's see. Of course, they still have a runner in scoring position.
Timeout called as bat was still in play. Cason Williams stands to the plate. First pitch he sees will be on a line towards center field, and a leaping catch made there by Romero for out number 2.
There we see the depth again, making a great leaping catch right there. Because if he didn't catch that, that was trouble right there, and that would have definitely scored in a run. But slowly inching more runs is the SaberCats. They're still down by 3 runs.
Now standing in will be Anthony Gilligan. Came in to pinch hit for Henry Jacoby. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. So he'll take ball 1 there. 2 away in the bottom of the 7th. Runners on first and second. Gilligan, the last chance for the SaberCats. He'll ground it to third. Fielded there. Throw to second. In time. And that'll do it as the Knights hold on to win this one by a score of 8-5.
That was a great win right there by the Knights. Considering the fact that Saguaro is a little bit ahead of them in the standings, this was a much-needed win, especially inching right before playoffs. Of course, improving their record now is St. Mary's, now to a 14-9 record. They are now evenly matched with Saguaro as they head into the playoffs. Brady, what have we seen from the first inning to the very last inning?
It's a lot of hard play from both teams. Late inning comeback attempt there by the SaberCats, but ultimately it is the Knights who ride that early lead to their advantage. Advanced 14-9 on the season, snapping their 3-game losing skid, and that'll do it for us here at the Varsity Sports Show. For Tyler Wargo and everyone else behind the scenes, I'm Brady Hanson saying thank you and good night.